We got a break from the rain.
That's nice.
Oh, we just had so much rain this week. It's been crazy.
Really? Is that standard? Is it normally rainy season?
No, not really. Not in August.
Interesting. Okay, so Laura popped in. You know Laura, right? Laura Bai?
Yep.
Okay. Do you work with her?
Well, yeah, I do. Not day to day, but
Okay. So she's homesick with her kid, and I told her to join at 10:30.
okay, no problem.
But she might pop in early there. So tell me, this is just making sure we're on the same page. This is our call number 5, right?
5, yep.
Okay. And Nicole sent me an email saying that maybe Friday the 25th in the morning would work to do a live session. Are you part of that?
She did not. I'm on PTO, but I probably could still make that work if that's what she wants. I think that would be call number 6, or that would be for call number 6 or video number 6. Is that what you're thinking?
So she's one behind you.
Okay.
So it would be, for her, it'd be number 5. And it would also be sort of like a live role play, which is what originally we were trying to achieve. So it kind of be credit for both of you guys.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
What time was she thinking?
I sent her back. She said sometime before 9:30. So
okay.
That's all my schedule's open. So whatever you wanted to do would be fine.
Okay, I think we can make that work.
Yeah. So I wouldn't want to have this replace one of our calls, because on our 6th call, we're going to go over the certification criteria. This would just sort of be an adjunct, or could be a replacement to sending in a video.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep, we're scheduled for our next video like Tuesday, so should we just like cancel that one and wait till the next week then?
You're doing it with Nicole?
No, you and I are scheduled for Tuesday the 22nd. I have us at 9 o'clock.
Tuesday the 22nd at 9 o'clock. Okay, and were you going to try to get a video done before then?
Was, but I don't know if that'll work actually. So maybe it'd be probably better just to move that one.
So if you could do a video before then, I think we should keep our Tuesday the 22nd call.
Okay.
And
okay.
If you can do the video before then, great. And then we'll just use that. If you can't, then we can probably just use that call to talk about the certification. And then we could use the 25th as a video, I suppose.
Okay. Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, because if that's, if the 25th is Nicole live, you're really kind of just helping out, and she's playing the preceptor. If on the 25th you have time for both of you to do the whole preceptor cycle, I guess that would work. But maybe if you could do a video before then, that might be, we just be assured to have it.
Okay. Yep, I can try to get one in on Monday. I'll be meeting with some people Monday that I can probably do it with.
Awesome. Okay. So tell me about this video, the one you just did. When did you do this? Was this a week ago or so, or was it fairly recently?
We did this one, oh boy, yesterday. Okay. Yesterday morning.
So how did it go for you?
Well, I think it went better. Like I got more of the components of the preceptor model. After I did the checklist, like you kind of recommended in the email, I still see that I missed some pieces of it.
What
Um,
what did you miss?
um, so I took your condensed version guide that you had put together.
Yep.
So I think what I when you're doing the preparation and the setup piece, I missed like kind of their plan and summarizing, what I said and make sure we're so like that piece. I like we kind of talked about. Okay, can we work on this? Yep. Okay, let's go. And then we just went into it instead of more of the preparation setup part piece of it. So D through EF, I felt like I probably didn't do all those steps.
Okay. Um, was part of that that you were working with Nicole and she knew the drill, or was it that you just didn't think to go through it, or what do you
Yeah,
think?
it was probably I think it's probably working with Nicole because we both kind of know what we're doing. If you were working with somebody that didn't, you probably would have to spend more time on actually the skill that we're working on. What's been going on. You could kind of get more information from them and what that specifically they're working on. So I think the setup might be a little bit different, and that would allow for that to be more natural in that piece.
Okay. So how is this document for you? The summary of steps, is that the
Yep.
one?
I actually used the where you said acute care preceptor process model condensed.
Okay. All right. Uh, condense that one. It's coming up.
Yep, that one.
Okay. And was that helpful?
Yes, I like that.
Okay. Cool. Good. Um, okay. So if Nicole was a brand new learner, my thought is you wouldn't truncate this part. You'd probably go through it more, and probably, we kind of lose some things on the videos because, especially if you're working with a team, yeah, I mean, we could go through it, but she knows what she's doing, and so it could take just a couple of words. So we don't want this to be torture for anyone, but we also don't want you to miss something that's really important and not have a chance to practice it. So for the last video that you do, if you could go all the way down from start to beginning, almost as if they're,
Yep,
even if it is Nicole, um, as if she's a new person.
yep.
Uh, so that might be helpful to run through that to see what kind of questions you have, or does that make sense, or what am I supposed to be doing there? Okay, so that was one area. You said there was
Yep.
another area.
Um, in when you're under number 3, the exercise round 2, I think the piece that maybe is missing is how will the change enhance the connection. So once you've went through it and you've kind of picked out what you want to work on, thinking about that under A, number 2, you're talking more about, and I know it doesn't have to be verbatim, but kind of that idea of now we're going to make this change. How is that actually going to change the encounter? I think we talked about that last time, but I think I missed that piece in there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. How will it change the outcome?
Yep.
So, okay. So, why do you think you missed that part?
I don't know. Trying to think about, she was doing the shirt, her sweater, and one of her things she wanted to work on was getting out of hand under hand to get to do the sweater thing. So I don't know if that's because that was the task that it was like, okay, well, how is that going to change the outcome of it? I don't know.
Yeah. So let's take a look here. Oh, I'm gonna have to mute myself here and run the audio. Were you able to hear that at all?
No, but I just watched it, so I know what it was.
Okay. So, so the change what was the change that she made?
She wanted to get out of hand under hand so it would be more comfortable to get the sweater off. She thought that was actually, she tried to keep the hand under hand while she was getting the sweater off, and then she wanted to change to not do that.
Okay. Um, so it was the sweater, how to make the sweater, how to do hand under hand while taking the sweater off. Was there something else? I thought there was something else as well.
And the other thing we talked about was she was kind of more in front of her, so to try to get more to the side.
Okay. All right. So, and what was her plan to change? How was she going to change it the second time? What was the plan?
So she was going to go out of hand under hand while she was taking the sweater off and then get back into it after.
Okay. So in the moment, did that make sense to you? Did it look like not doing it the first time was causing her some difficulties?
Was that I'm sorry, I missed that.
Yeah. So I'm Nicole, and I say to you, well, what I'm gonna adjust, what I want to adjust is getting out of hand under hand while I take off the sweater and then coming back into hand under hand. The first time she did it, what was what what caused trouble the first time with the hand under hand the sweater? What part of that was causing her difficulty?
No, I think that was one of the feedbacks that Steph gave, that was kind of awkward feeling. I think that's what she had said. It didn't feel real comfortable.
So did Nicole's plan of going out of hand under hand and then helping her with the sweater and then coming back into hand under hand rather than trying to figure out a way to maintain hand under hand while getting off the sweater, did that make sense to you?
Yeah, it makes sense because she couldn't keep hand under hand, so she ended up getting out of it anyway. But I don't know. I guess I didn't put the piece together where how that was gonna maybe enhance the connection, or what it's kind of saying there. I guess I didn't put those two together.
Okay, so it could have been that it just made sense to you, so you thought, oh yeah, let's try that. That's gonna make a difference. So go for it. So if I'm the preceptor and you're saying, oh, I'm gonna come out of hand under hand and I'm gonna help get the sweater off, and then I'm gonna go back into hand under hand, and I think, oh yeah, and that's using Steph's feedback. So that sounds like a good plan, but that's all internal, and all I say externally is, okay, good, let's go for that. So sometimes that's what happens here. And so it seems like we've really missed this step here, but it's really more that internal thought that, yeah, that makes sense. Let's go for it. Let's do it. So all this is really saying is, it's not even telling you that you have to confirm with them, but it's a good thing for you to think through of, will this make a difference? And that's where your role of the preceptor is. If it doesn't make a difference, or if, boy, that I'm not really sure how that's going to help things, or you're thinking, boy, that's going to make things worse. You really do need to be in hand under hand. And if you're not, this is going to not go well. That's where that can be a productive discussion with the learner, saying, tell me how that's going to help things.
Right. Okay. So, that makes sense.
I'm Nicole, and I say, well, yeah, Steph is saying it felt uncomfortable getting the sweater off. So my plan is, okay, I'm gonna wait until she stands up, and then I'm gonna quickly take the sweater off her back that way. Oh, okay, Clark. Well, how is that going to help the
right?
Yeah. So, people come up with ideas, but sometimes that's where not making the presumption that, to me, it sounds like, oh, this is a really bad idea. Sometimes when you check in, there might be a really good thought there of why they want to try that or what's going to happen there. And then if someone's really, really focused that this is really what I want to do, it's going to make a huge difference. Sometimes your role as a preceptor is, okay, let's try it. Let's see how that goes.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then that's where I would really get the feedback really strongly from Steph about, did that help when she jerked the sweater off?
Sure.
No, no, that wasn't too fun.
All right, that makes sense.
Okay. What else?
On that same section E, we didn't watch the round 2 video together, so didn't do that. Missed that piece.
Okay. Did you think that that was important to do at that moment, or that there was no value in doing that? Tell me about that. Or just...
You know, when we were doing it yesterday morning, I didn't have this printed out yet. So I didn't even think about it. Like, I didn't have that on mine. Like, I had retyped it up my kind of steps. So I wasn't even, I wasn't even aware that I should be doing that. So I just totally missed that.
Okay. So for our next video, probably going through all of the steps, and you can start and stop and put things, but going through and having them all this way is probably going to be a good thing to just have and practice.
Yeah, I think I'll use this one that you sent out now.
Okay. But in real life, precepting is really this condensed version of training and coaching.
Yeah.
So sometimes, this is the outline, the full outline, but when you're actually doing it, nobody in PAC wants you to throw away your brain or your common sense, or just do a step because it's on the page. So if she does it perfectly and you don't think, well, are we just watching the video to watch the video at this point, or really what are we getting out of this, or time constraints or whatever it is, then my thought is, oh, we have 5 minutes, we could watch the video, but then we can't set the plan for practice. Much more important for me at that point to say, let's set that plan of practice.
Yep, that makes sense.
Okay. Anything else on there?
So plan the practice, we did that, so that was good, because that was one thing that we had talked about. Our last call was one of the things I wanted to make sure I work on, so we got that in there. But then the closing, so I didn't set, like we set up, like we'll do the email, but I don't know if that means that we're gonna set up our next learning session, like together face-to-face. So I guess that one I'm not sure about. And I didn't thank the learner, those kind of things at the end there. So confirm the value of the session. Those kind of things.
Yeah, and so all that can be done, pretty quickly.
Yeah.
It can be short statements. But I would say connecting by email is enough to set up the next connection. You have a plan how you're going to do that. So yeah, I think how did you feel about doing the plan?
That was good. It was it's not real life exactly like it was a new learner, but we got the idea of it.
What makes the real life example different?
If I was really working with a new therapist or CNA, I would probably check in with them more often because I'd be on site. So mine is like, okay, tomorrow or when I'm here on Thursday, let's meet up and let's go through this and we'll observe you or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, that's good. That sounds like a good plan. And then the other point to stress, if it's really building new skills, is besides just working with you, where else can they practice this idea of 5 minutes a day? Who else could be around?
Sure.
What does that look like? Because it really does make a difference. Finding that time to practice a little bit each day, it can make a giant difference.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
Okay, so of this whole video, what felt good to you?
Um, I think the most of the preceptor models is getting more comfortable, meaning like talking to the person living with dementia first, and then going to the PPA, or so that interaction is getting more comfortable. But what did they notice? The two things that went well, the one thing we want to work on. So that interaction is feeling more comfortable. Watching the video, those kind of things. So it's still not getting every piece, but I feel like the overall is feeling more comfortable.
Good. And so we introduced the idea of the unmet need.
Yep.
How did that part go?
As the preceptor?
Yeah, for you.
I don't know. I guess when we were talking, I asked her, I don't even know if I had really addressed what that specifically when we were talking, but
I'm not sure you did either, but it was pretty clear.
Yeah. We talked about not knowing the gem level, so I asked her what level she thought this person was and kind of things like that, but I don't, yeah. So.
Yeah. So, how was it? I think we didn't get on camera, but the instructing the piece of that Steph, you're going to have an unmet need, and Nicole, you're going to pick up on that unmet need. How was that process for you?
Yeah, so that was good. So I just Steph and I just went to the side a little bit when we started, and I showed her the list of physical and emotional unmet needs, and I said, just pick one, which one you want to work on, and then a gem level. So she did that. So just kind of prepping her with, well, what they are, first of all, because she wasn't totally aware of those. And then the gem level, Steph's feeling pretty comfortable with them, so she picked a gem level on her own.
Okay. Good. And so she was a Ruby.
Yep.
Did you feel like she did a good job of doing a Ruby? Anything you'd change about how she played a Ruby?
Well, I kind of like I did mention in the video that she was rocking, which is kind of maybe the rhythm thing, so that made sense to me. I'm like, yep, that makes sense. But then her being able to tell her that she's hot, she probably wouldn't be able to tell her. She would just feel it. Like she would just be able to show by her actions. She would, like Nicole asked her, do you feel hot? And she's like, yeah. She probably wouldn't be able to tell her that she felt hot.
So here's where, again, we're doing things for a video for really training purposes, but in real life, that could take a long time to figure out what's going on. And the whole point of this video is not just unmet needs. If it was, I think we'd say, okay, you're giving her way too many clues. You're responding too quickly. Let's have her work for it to really figure out what's going on. Okay. Yeah, but we're just sort of introducing that as a concept, as an idea. And how do you think Nicole did?
I think she did good. Again, like I said, it's not real life, so it wouldn't happen like just right away when you get there. You wouldn't know that person had an unmet need. It would be that they weren't working with you. Something was, distracting them, so you're not getting done what you need to get done, and then you have to figure it out. So, but I mean, for the video, I think she did fine. But exactly not real life, maybe.
Yeah, and just her obviously her steps of PPA were really good, getting in the visual range, and then I thought she did a really nice job of mimicking the motion of rocking with her. Yeah. Which itself, if you're trying to build a connection, and so many people just try to do it with their words.
Sure.
But with Ruby, rocking with her is a really great way to build that connection with her.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really good too.
Mm-hmm.
So good. You guys are really plugging along. How about so if you have a group that you can work with Monday, going through the whole process, I think that would be great. And then we'll keep our call Tuesday. And then the session Friday, if you're willing to help Nicole out, maybe then you're just sort of helping her out, and we don't have to
Okay.
have to do anything other than just to support her.
Sounds good. So.
Great. Any questions for your final video?
Let me look now. Let me just make sure I know what it is. So recording the whole interaction. You don't have a gem level of choice. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, you get to choose.
And then the task can be whatever. So, okay.
Yep.
Okay. Nope, then I should be good.
And so probably if you want to, you can build in an unmet need. I think what would be more important is if it's helpful to do that, great. If it's more distracting, then let it go. I think the more important part is to go all the way through the whole process, and let's have that in some form or fashion.
Okay.
And if it takes, part A, part 2, 3 videos to do it, that's fine. But just, walk through the whole process.
Okay.
Great. Questions, concerns you have before then?
Nope, I don't think so.
Awesome. Well, fantastic. How did you guys got together with Laura? I'm sorry, Lynn.
Lynn. Yeah. It was fun to hear what some people are doing with trying to introduce this to their facility. So they're looking, one thing that seemed like the trend, the common theme was they were looking for materials, handouts, to take it to that next level. I think that's probably the main thing we got from that call, was some ideas for that and how people are using those.
So there's follow up on that end. I think it's this idea of products that are sold, and so Lynn is connecting with Keith, the products person, to see what makes sense and is reasonable and all that kind of stuff. So great, fantastic. Well, you guys are just really rocking right along. It's really impressive, and so now you're going to be using some of your preceptor skills a little bit to help the other preceptors. Besides Nicole.
I did talk to Nicole about including, when she does the one at West Wind, that I'd like to come and be involved with that too. So we're going to try to make that happen.
Fantastic. Other than Nicole, are you working with any other in the preceptor class?
Not directly one-on-one right now, no.
Okay. Awesome. Well, you guys are doing amazingly well. Everyone's really impressed.
Good.
Okay, so I will see you Tuesday then, and if the video doesn't work before then, that's okay. We'll figure out another way to achieve that.
Okay, sounds good.
Nice job.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Have a good day.
You too. Bye.